evening, and in our Hgp Sportscast, badminton siblings Narayan and Priyana Ramdani shines in Canada in the 2019-2020 Alberta Colleges Athletic Conference tournament. We will join Stanford Howard for the details.
Over the weekend in Alberta, Canada, the Guyanese top-seeded players showcased their talent and skills needed to bring home a silver and a bronze medal. Nairani Ramdani, playing for the King's University Eagles, won the second place in the men's singles and fifth place in the mixed doubles, while his sisters Priyani Ramdani, playing for the Old College Broncos, won the third place in the women's single and seventh place in the mixed doubles. Nairani, who finished second in the singles, showed what it takes to become one of the best badminton players. In the quarterfinals, he defeated John Lee in straight sets 21-13, 21-17, while in his semifinals appearance, he defeated Taylor Walsh in almost similar fashion with a 21-15, 21-17. But it was the finals that went the distance with a three-setter loss to Nicholas Pittman of Cordelia, 19-21, 21-13, 16-21. While his sister Priyani Ramdani, who got third, had a different task ahead. In the quarterfinals, she dispatched Connie Zhang 21-10, 21-18, but bowed out in the semis to Joanna Rems 17-21, 7-21. But to be on the podium, the youngster played with intent as she defeated Abby Leaders of Kings 21-17, 21-18. Both players performed very competitively, and in the first time in their badminton careers, they played against each other instead with each other, as they attended different universities and colleges. For Hgp Sport, I am Stanford Howard.
Cricket news. West Indies have named a 15-man squad led by Kimani Melius for the ICC Under-19 Cricket World Cup in South Africa in January and February 2020. Here again is Stanford Howard.
The squad features three players who also participated in the 2018 edition. Captain Melius is one of the three alongside all-rounder Niam Young and bowler Ashmi Ned. Young won the Player of the Match award in the West Indies Plate quarter-final victory over Ireland last edition, scoring 55 not out off just 33 balls, as his side chased down 279 with 10 balls remaining. Other names included Leonardo Julian and Jaden Sears, who are part of the West Indies emerging players in the ongoing Super 50 Cup, where they play alongside Melius and Ned. The 50-man squad, which features a 5-man pace attack, will prepare for the global tournament with a tri-series at home against England and Sri Lanka. West Indies, who won their only ICC Under-19 Cricket World Cup title back in 2016, get their campaign underway with a clash against Australia on the 18th of January in Kimberley. The 16-team competition, which features tournament debutant Japan and Nigeria, kicks off with a match in Kimberley between the tournament's hosts, South Africa and Afghanistan, on the 17th of January. India are the reigning champions, having won the previous edition in New Zealand in 2018. West Indies squad reads: Kelvin Anderson, Daniel Beckford, Matthew Ford, Joshua James, Niam Young, Antonio Morris, Ashmi Ned, Makibi Joseph, Leonardo Julian, Avinash Marber Singh, Kirk McKenzie, Raman Simmons, Matthew Patrick, and Jaden Sales. For Hgp Sport, I am Stanford Howard.
Taking a look at some test cricket, West Indies will go into their one-off test against Afghanistan starting this Wednesday, hoping to salvage some much-needed pride before they take on the Indians starting in the new month. This story explains. In cricket news, a one-off test to compete the West Indies and Afghanistan engagement bowls off on Wednesday with the Caribbean side, who bagged the one-day international series but proved miserable in the T20 contest, will be looking to end this segment of their outing on a positive note. This test would be followed by 3 T20s, 3 one-day internationals, and a one-off test as well to wrap up play for this year. The Afghans, fresh still off their T20 victory, will be out to prove that they are not a walkover in the test, boasting immaculate spin bowling, which remains a tough ask for the men in maroon. First ball is set for 12 a.m. local time. JADON Samuels, Hgp Sport. Still in cricket news, authorities in New Zealand believe they have identified the individual who's thought to have shouted racial abuse at Jofara Archer on Monday. Archer, the England fast bowler, heard the abuse after he was dismissed in England's second innings at the Oval. And finally in sport this evening, Leeward Islands beat Jamaica by 13 runs in the Super 50 Cup tournament being played in Basseterre. The details in this Colwyn Abrams report.
In the ongoing Super 50 tournament, Rovman Powell hit a blistering 38-ball century, the fifth fastest in men's List A cricket, against Leeward Islands. But his ton was not enough for Jamaica to avert a 13-run loss in a chase of 256 at the Super 50 Cup in Basseterre, as they folded for 242 in 28.3 overs. Aside from Rovman, who was adjudged the player of the match, none of the Jamaica batsmen could make a 50. The next best score from their lineup was a mere 26-ball 30, struck by number 8 Jamie Merchant, who was in part down to Botswin's 4 for 85. The other century in the match came from Kieran Powell in the opposition camp and stood in sharp contest with Rovman's. Built on 13 fours and no sixes, the Leeward Islands openers 125 ball 105, however anchored his sides 255 for 8 after they were sent in. Kieran's big 154-run second wicket stand with half-centurion Amir Jangu in 29 overs set the perfect platform to eye a total close to 300. Kieran's dismissal also triggered a collapse that saw them lose 4 wickets for 8 runs and then 5 for 23, with Jamaica reduced to 216 for 6 in the 43rd over. Thomas later capped off his day with the ball with 3 for 59 as Leeward's finish on 255 for 8. For the Hgp Sports, Colwyn Abrams.
That concludes our cast for this evening. I'm JADON Samuels reminding you as always, say yes to sport, yes to life, and no to drugs.